All right. Good evening. Welcome to Team Mountain Strong's team call for November 2nd, 2016. Thanks for joining us. First of all, do we have any recognition? I know Kelly does and Nicole does. Nicole probably doesn't know she does.
I will be able to announce tomorrow that Laurel is an emerald.
This means Kelly's getting her diamond back tomorrow, which is and then Nicole, do you know what you're supposed to announce or no? Brianne will be an emerald tomorrow as well.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so she's a person on both legs. So I'll work on an emerald picture, and then you can announce her if you want tomorrow.
Perfect.
Okay. So I want to take just a minute to introduce Kelly. She is one of my best friends, and I met her through Beachbody. It was like, that's what, I mean, for those of you who are newer, it's just this amazing network of people that you will find commonalities with, that you just have connections with. So she's like one of my soul sister girls, and I've worked with her a ton on stuff, and we met for the first time back at the 2015 Beachbody Summit, and I don't know, kind of took off from there, but she is a Star Diamond coach. She is the CEO of the Wildflower Tribe and has a pretty thriving business. So if you ever want to talk numbers and stuff like that, she understands it a tad better than I am, because she's, I don't know, you're maybe like 8 months ahead of me. I don't know, but this is actually last year. I remember Kelly was like, Laura, I'm starting to feel some momentum. Like, this is really neat. And her team was starting to grow, and now she has a lot of people on her team. So it's pretty exciting, but she is, like someone who even if she wasn't my friend, would love to follow on social media, because she is, if you're not friends with her, definitely go and check out her page after the call, because she's really creative. She's really, really honest, and, she's a little scatterbrained, and you can see it in her posts sometimes, but it's this like authentic Kelly that people fall in love with. And it's like scatterbrained in a good way, if I can, she knows I mean it with love. But anyway, I wanted to bring her on because we do have a lot of new coaches on our team right now, and I know that it's really scary to start sharing on social media. Kelly, who is the other Kelly, Riley over here, who's one of her, more senior coaches, she struggled in the beginning, and she's over the last year gotten so much better about sharing on social media. And so it just takes practice, and it takes figuring out how to be authentic. So I'm going to share more, Kelly, if you want. I don't know what else to say, but I'm really excited to have you on the call, and thank you so much for being here.
Hey, thanks so much for that introduction, and thanks for having me. I'm really excited. I really love this topic, and I don't know, I know we don't have a ton of time, but I'll just kind of tell you guys super briefly a little bit about how I got started, because I think it plays just such an important role in how
Kelly, can you mute yourself? I don't know if I can mute you. Oh, I can. Okay.
Okay. I think it just are you recording? I don't think you're, oh yeah, you are. Okay. I think it plays just such an important role in how I got started and how I got my business off the ground. So I got started actually when I was pregnant. I had been following Dana for a while, and I decided that I was going to start coaching right when I was going to sign up to do a health and fitness, like I was going to do the 21-day fix. I don't know, 2 weeks later or something, I found out I was pregnant. And it had been that point where I was like following Dana, and I kind of wanted to do this program, because my husband and I always fought about not having time to work out with a toddler. We had our 2-year-old, and I had finally convinced him, and then I'm like, oh shoot, now I'm pregnant. But quickly it kind of it switched from, okay, I wanted to do the 21-day fix to, okay, I want to do the 21-day fix, but also I need to have a business, because I need to make extra income. I was working as a housekeeping manager at the time, and I absolutely hated it. hated it, and I thought it was going to be my dream job. So it was one of those like moments where before that I had worked a lot in hospitality, and this was it was a hip hotel. It was like super fun. It was a small place, but with a great music venue, and I thought it was going to be just like so much fun. And I had worked in hospitality for a long time before that, serving and working my way up, so I claimed. So to see that this wasn't for me was just a really big slap in the face in the direction of, okay, well, something's got to change. You got to find your niche, or you got to make, somewhere you got to make some changes. And I knew when I was pregnant that I was going to have to go to work and work full time just to come home and barely be able to make my ends meet. With daycare costs for 2 kids where we were living, it was going to be as if I would work full time to bring home $500 a month. So initially, I got started because I didn't want to have to go back to a job I hated, be away from my kids all day long, go back after maternity leave. I was only going to get 8 weeks because I was super new to my job, and then make $500 for a month. That wasn't the life that I wanted to live. I've always been super experience oriented. I wanted to have adventure. I wanted to travel, and it's really important to me to really appreciate each moment. So that just wasn't the life that I wanted to live. So from day one, I was really hell-bent determined to get this business going, to make it happen in the period of time that I needed to not have to go back to work after my maternity leave was up. So I had 9 months to match my full-time income is what I made that goal for myself. So actually a week before I took my last day is when I had officially matched what I was making at my job. So a big part of that, and I tell you guys all that because a big part of that for me was the fact that I was, like I said, I had a toddler, I was pregnant, and I was working full time. So I didn't have a lot of time. And I also was commuting via public transportation 2 hours to work. And picking up my son at daycare on public transportation as well. So it wasn't, I didn't have extra time. My time was on the bus, laying in bed, or randomly on breaks at work or on my lunch breaks. But so I knew from the beginning, and social media was the thing that I was really most hesitant about. I didn't want to put myself out there because I wasn't a happy person, and I thought that everyone was going to think that I was a fraud. And I saw all these coaches being so happy, and I was like, I'm not there. Like, I don't know what to share because I'm not there. And I was really intimidated by it. So for a long time, it was really my ultimate goal to try to figure out where I could make social media work for me and how I was going to nail it down. So I did all of this research, and I dove in, and I tried to figure out what my game plan was. And obviously along the way, a lot of me was changing because I had committed to my own journey, my 21-day fix. And I did all of the things. You guys know the vital behaviors. You're doing your personal development, you're working on your health and fitness journey, you're drinking your shake, you're sharing, you're inviting. I was doing all of these things. So I was growing a lot, and it just sort of evolved into, okay, well, I'm feeling a little bit more comfortable. I just started putting myself out there because I knew it was a part of it. And I sort of from day one saw that even though this made me super uncomfortable, it was something that was going to actually save me time in the long run. Because if I could get my voice out there, I could make the conversations behind the scenes so much more effortlessly flow together. So I started documenting my journey, and I shared where I was going. I shared my vision. I shared that I wanted to be home, and that I was working hard. I shared what my day-to-day looked like. In the beginning, I was pregnant, remember? So I had this oh my gosh, I have a crazy transformation. I was getting bigger while other people were working on their journeys and getting smaller, right? So I shared a lot of food recipes. I shared things that I knew that I could help with. And I think that's what's so important is we can't compare ourselves to other people. We have to think about the people that we want to reach. And this is something I still think of to this day, and it's on my list of things to talk to you guys about. But who are the people that you want to impact? Who are the people that you want to reach? Who are the people that are just like you, where you're looking at these, you wish with all your heart and soul that you could go and chat with these people and pull them out of this place and shake them and say, hey, like, I have a solution for you. For me, at that time, it was people that were pregnant. It was people that were dreading going back after maternity leave, right? Or it was moms that needed some help with how to make their days easier. What kind of meals could I put in so when I'm gone all day and I'm working full time? So it was those kinds of things in the beginning, or what are my pregnancy workouts looking like, or how am I staying happy? You know, like sometimes we get kind of down when we're pregnant. It's just part of it. So those things are things that I wanted to share in the beginning because that's the person that I was reaching. So as my story evolved, you know, I had the baby. Now I have 2 kids. I made it, like I said, I reached that goal where I didn't have to go back to work anymore. So that was a part of my story. That was a huge part of my story. For so long, I worked as a waitress. I worked in hospitality. I didn't find fulfillment. I finally decided, you know what? I'm going to give this my all because I'm better than this. I deserve more than this. My family deserves more than this. And I made that dream happen. But that all is a part of my story. So the first tip that I want to give you guys is that you have to know what your story is. And if you don't know what your story is, it's such a good idea to continue to go ahead and do your personal development. If you're not doing personal development, you're missing out on such an opportunity to really share with people things that can make an impact for them. Because I'll tell you what, when I was 2 years ago starting out as a new coach, I had no idea what I was going to share. And the more I was like, oh my God, I don't know what to share, or oh my gosh, I don't have any suggestion, I don't know like what to put on social media, or I don't feel filled up. I knew, instead of thinking like, oh, this is so hard, I don't have anything to share on social media, I thought I better open a friggin' book because I don't know where I'm struggling. I don't know how to help people overcome my struggles. I don't know what I can give. So my solution, and it's always been not, oh, I can't do this, but where can I do something differently so that I have something to give, or I have a way to go from here. So personal development is going to be everything alongside your own health and fitness journey. If you're not committed to something, commit to it. And we hear that over and over again. I know a lot of you guys are new, but I'm doing the Ultimate Reset right now, for example, and I'm all in. And I have had so many people reach out to me because they're inspired by that journey. And I feel good because I'm committed to something, all in, 100%, even though it's been so freaking hard. But that accomplishing a journey like that and staying committed to your program is also giving you so much to talk about on social media and so much confidence. So first and foremost, you have to get familiar with your story. So go ahead, jot all of your story down. Where did you start? What made you want to do this? What made you want to get set up with your health and fitness journey? Why did you reach out to Laura or your coach? What were you looking to fulfill? What problems did you have in your life? What obstacles have you had in your life? Where are you working through some things still right now where you feel like, you know, you're on the path to learning, and maybe, you know, you're never alone. So thinking through what your story is, know that you can make an impact for you and grow through it, and then you can make an impact for someone else too. So do some journaling or just some brainstorming and sort of think through everything that is your story. From there, I have these, my daughter just threw away my notebook. Hold on. What did you do with that? Okay, so from there I have a notebook. It's called my Create notebook. I started it a long time ago, but it's all of my ideas that I ever have for a post. So if I have this in the car, or I think of something on the way, if I read a quote, then it goes in the notebook so that I could use it later. If a little story pops into my brain, then when I'm taking a walk, then I come home and make a note of a jogger for it. But the big thing is in this is that you ask yourself some prompt questions. And I can post this for Laura. I'm sure she's heard them before too, but I'm happy to write them down. But I have written on the first page of my notebook, what's normal about you? What sets you apart? What problem does Beachbody solve for you? What makes you laugh? What makes you feel a lot of emotion? And what were you looking for when you found Beachbody? And those things are going to help you so much when you're putting together the pieces of your story. So I know Laura wanted me to talk about sharing on social media and my brand. Our stories are our brand, 100%. So you have to get really familiar with what your story is, to jot down all of these things, right? And then put them into your experiences. So when you're thinking about social media, I think in this way. I want a pretty picture that stands out and a story. So I want a story that relates to one of these questions, or something that I'm feeling, or something that I'm learning, and it's going to piece into, I always think in sort of a timeline, right? Like, where was I before? What have I learned because of a Beachbody program, or because of my personal development, or because I've been given this community, and where am I now? So talk through that. And a really important thing to do too is to talk through that in your post in your language. So not every post has to be crazy long. Like, you can do that in like a couple sentences, you know. I wish I could think of an example off the top of my head, but like, used to be so overwhelmed by XYZ. Now I sweat it out in the mornings and press play in 30 minutes. I feel a lot better. You know, like, it doesn't have to be this whole drawn out thing, but it just has to be something where people can see where they are. They can say, oh, me too, I feel like that, I feel stressed out. And then you show them that there is a solution from getting to stressed out to I feel fat, and that's pressing play in 30 minutes at home. So you're paving the way for them, so they're curious to see if this solution would fit for them too, right? So alongside that, the other things that have really helped have been to, at any point, your story is going to be evolving. And the things that I think about are, what are my 10 things that I like right now in this moment? So for those of you that, you know, maybe you feel like you've been in it for a while, like Kelli, or you're brand new, just thinking back on what are the 10 things that you're super into right now. And for example, this is something that has changed for me. Like right now, like I said, I'm doing this ultimate reset. I used to be super into working out. Right now, I'm not freaking working out because I'm cleansing. So I'm trying new things. I'm kind of digging the vegan thing. I'm loving the focused energy that I have. So these are all things that I'm into right now. And it doesn't have to be like focused energy, clarity. Like, it can be like, I freaking love donuts, you know, and that's true. I love donuts. I posted a picture of a donut chapstick, and I'll give people donut recipes that are healthy. So those can be on your list too. It just has to be you, to the point where, for example, another thing that has been my kind of deal is mason jars. Like, I started a mason jar group, and I've been sharing a lot of mason jar recipes, and still people will tag me in mason jar recipes now all the time and say, oh, I thought of you because of the mason jar. So the goal is to have these things that people think of you when they think of XYZ, because you're sharing about the same things. So 10 is kind of a lot, but 10 is going to help you get to the point where you can narrow that down, and you'll have your 5. So at any given time, I'd recommend that you have 5 things that you're really focused on. So for me, that's my adventurous lifestyle, my fitness, right now, the reset, my family time is important to me, and my food-friendly family meals. I love food, so foodie is kind of a thing too. Alongside that, the mason jars. So there are different parts of me that in my spiritual journey is kind of a big deal to me right now too. So mine's changed. I was looking at the ones that I had written down before. But if I had to pick 5 right now, that would be my 5. So it doesn't have to be all Beachbody all the time, but it has to be to the point where you know who you are, you know what you're sharing, and you also, and here's the key piece, you also know who you're speaking to. So I really encourage you guys to, Laura, you can cut me off if I'm going too wild right now. Okay, so I also encourage you guys to think about, like I said, who you're speaking to. Something that's really helped me is to literally make an avatar. I don't know if you guys have done this before, but think of who you want to, like I said, who you want to impact. So now, like I said before, I was pregnant. I wanted to impact those people. Now I want to help people that were in my shoes. I want to talk to the old me. And most of the times that's who you want to talk to. You want to talk to the person, for me, that was broken, who was sad, who didn't know what they were going to do because they found out they actually hate what they wanted to do. You want to talk to the person that feels stuck. I had a baby. I found out I was pregnant when I was with my boyfriend at the time for 2 months. So I'm talking to that person that lost their identity. I'm talking to the person that needs something for them. They need fulfillment. They don't have any passion. They feel lost. That's who I'm talking to. The person that still wants to hold on to that adventurous lifestyle as a mom. So those are my things. But being able to really brainstorm out who am I speaking to? What was I before? Put it on your bulletin board if you have to. And then if you're making a post, and you ask yourself, you back up and you ask yourself, would I be attracted to this post, or would I just scroll through and think it didn't pertain to me? So I always think to myself, number one, is this language, and the language too is so important. Is the language put in a way that I would talk to my best friend? Like Laura said, she always feels the scatterbrain in me in my post. That's good. That's cool. I'm happy with that, because I know that if someone met me in real life, they would be like, oh, I totally get Kelly. That's how she is on social media, and that's how she is in real life. And I'm speaking directly to a person in my language. If something doesn't sound like how I would say it out loud, so think through, like, I always think, if my best friend read this, would she think I was a fraud? Or would she be like, oh yeah, that's Kelly, all right, for you, And if that's the case, then you're on the right track. And then the other things are, I always think document. So when you're doing your 5, and I didn't touch on this when I was going through my 5 just now, but your journey, your health and fitness journey is a 1 of your 5, 100% 1 of your 5. So you should be documenting your journey on social media. And when I say document, I mean literally, what are you feeling when you're going through the movements? Like, what are you feeling when you press play and you don't want to? What are you feeling when it sucks that your family's eating pizza and you're eating broccoli? Whatever it is, that is part of it. And people don't want to just see your highlight reel, like, day 14, I feel fab. They want to see all the stuff that's in between. So documenting every step of the way is so important. And guys, all of social media is so important for the reasons I said before, but it's so, because it is a helper in the I don't have time area. Like, it is going to help put your conversations, like I said, they're going to mesh seamlessly with what you're posting. People are going to say, oh, you're a new friend, or, oh, haven't talked to you in a while. I see you're up to XYZ. Awesome. You guys saved yourself some time, because you don't have to go into, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, they already know. They've been following you, and it makes it so much easier to reach out and then offer your help and support, because you can go ahead and go straight into that. You've documented your journey. They know your struggles. They know you're a real person. They can trust you. And that's the other reason that we're using social media, so people can trust us. And it's easier to be able to be that person for someone that is going to be able to offer the support that they need. And then another thing that we can do, I know we don't have that much time, is you can always ask someone what they see as your brand when they look at your wall. So when someone looks at your wall, they should know that you're a health and fitness coach with a couple scrolls, that you are a coach. They should know that you have health and fitness programs that you could help them through, and they should know that you're on a journey of your own too. And if someone, maybe ask a good friend what they see or what they think your brand is. The brand is so important, because we can't speak to everyone. If we speak to everyone, we don't speak to anyone. Ask yourself, we've already talked about this too, but what do you want to give? What do you want to give to people? If you're struggling with what to post on social media, you're probably thinking, how can I get attention? Rather than, what can I give the people that are like me, that were in my shoes? So something else really good to think about if you're struggling with what to post. But your story is everything. It's not about, hey, all the ingredients in Shakeology, here's my Shakeology cup. It's about, oh my gosh, I had no time to cook and eat breakfast for myself because my kids were nuts and one of them was running around the house, and I'm about to go out the door and the dog peed on the floor, and thank God I just have my Shakeology because I'm going to a doctor's appointment and I'm late. Like, that's the story. That's where people can say, oh my gosh, I'm so busy too. I can drink. I should do something for myself that would be good for me. And show them that you're fitting it into your life and it's helping you. So who do you speak to, and who do you want to impact, and what do you stand for? You're not going to make everyone happy, and that's okay. But the point is, again, to really speak to those people that can relate to you and your story and your brand, and sorry about that, and who really dig what you have going on and can relate to all that you are. So yeah, that's it. I know Laura said I had 30 minutes, so I was talking fast, and that's what I prepared. And if you guys have any questions, though, I'm so happy to answer them.
Yeah, do you guys have questions? Kelli is like, she's a mad woman on Facebook, so please ask questions. A few of you are just starting, so
can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I'm new to this thing, but so I missed a little bit of it. My computer, it wasn't connecting in the beginning, so I don't know if I missed this part, but were you a big Facebook poster before you started this?
Oh my God, no. This was the biggest holdup that I had with wanting to be a coach. Like, I would look at Dana's post and say, I would never, ever do that. Not only did I think I would never do that, but I was a big partier, and I was really afraid that people would just see right through me and not trust me or not give me the benefit of the doubt that I could be a changed person. So it was honestly one of the scariest things for me, and I think that's why I've come to get so familiar with it now. And I know a lot of people think that it's like my thing, but it's funny because I really hated it in the beginning, and that's why I think it has become my thing, because I sort of set out to conquer it and make it my own.
So did you kind of like ramp it up then, like start, like introduce, like if I'm just starting I'm not even done with my first thing, like say, like let them know I'm doing it, and then kind of like build up like a little bit? Do you think that is how you would do it without seeming like, I post like once a month on Facebook, but then all of a sudden, like here I am 5 times a day. Like that seems like a hard.
Yeah, no, to be honest with you, my coaches ask me that all the time, and I didn't do that. I mean, I was really committed. Like I said, I had big goals. I didn't want to go home. I did not want to go back to work. And so anything that I was told to do, I did. I jumped, okay, let's just do it. Let's dive in, you know? I think that working your way through sharing on social media, especially when you're getting started with your journey, is so powerful, because people totally relate to that struggle in the beginning, and it holds you accountable, because then you're like, well, I'm not going to look like a fool. I've been posting 3 times a day on social media. Like, I better like do something with this, you know?
Right.
And then also it just gets people super interested in the whole journey along the way. I think, like I said, I was pregnant, so a lot of my posts were like, here's what I'm cooking, or like I'm spending time, or showing like what I'm doing with the family, that sort of thing, and my workouts, you know, making my shakes with my husband. Just like I said, I think the word documenting is so good, and that's really what it is. You're just using it as if it's like a public diary almost, if that makes sense.
And you just have to start. You just have to do it. Like, I was freaked out when I started, because prior to Beachbody, I had been kind of dabbling in selling essential oils. So I was like, really afraid that people were going to think I was just this huge fraud that, like, you know, was just trying another MLM company or something, you know? And so I was stressed about it, but you just have to do it. And like now, I mean, a lot of people know that I used to distribute essential oils, but they associate me with being a health and fitness coach. And truly, like, if it wasn't for Kelli and the other couple of girls that are doing this ultimate reset, I'd probably be going crazy. But I also, if I hadn't announced to Facebook and the public that I was doing this, I'm pretty sure I would have quit already, because I am struggling. It's the hardest thing I've ever done. I want my freaking coffee and I want a glass of wine. So that's all I'm going to say. But like, it is like the ultimate accountability when you put yourself out there. And like, you can talk about that too, that like, you're putting yourself out there for you as well. You know, like, you want to be held accountable. You want to be successful in your journey. Just keep going, Kelli. I'm sorry. I guess we're done pretty much here.
No, that's it. I mean, that's how I felt too. I think just doing it is like, you know, it gets more comfortable, feels more natural. Once you get people telling you, oh my gosh, what are you doing? You're so inspiring. It's going to feel even more comfortable, you know, like we're so tired. And someone told me this today. As a culture, we're so over hearing all of the highlight reels. So hearing the struggles throughout your experience is just so powerful. You know, like you're not out there to tell people like every day, oh my gosh, my workout was so great today, day 12, you know, like, no, that's not it. It's like, all of that along the way. So it's not, I totally get not feeling like you can jump in, but I mean, you can because you're doing something new, and that's really inspiring to a lot of people. So you have to realize too that at the root of all of this is your opportunity to really make an impact on people.
Yeah, I think I just like partially just worry, it's more so like you're friends with 300 people or whatever, but it's like those 10 or 20 people that you're close to that you're like, oh, what are they going to think? Like, I think that's what I worry about the most, but I think I just need to get over it. And the people who like me will like me, and the people who don't, like, it doesn't matter anyways.
That's exactly it, Jen. Like, the people who love you and your close people are going to support you because you're doing something that makes you happy. And I mean, I had one friend who defriended me in the beginning, and it was really traumatic for me with a good friend of mine, and it really was awful. But like, after, if you're probably not reading personal development yet either, I think you are, but that's super hard to kind of get you over the whole. You have to just not care what people think. And you have 300 friends now. Well, in a year from now, hopefully you're going to have like part of this process will be growing your network. So you're going to have a lot of people, and you can't worry about it. Hi, buddy.
Jen, I was totally the same way. Obviously, Laura can very much vouch because I sometimes was slightly hostile in the fact that I didn't want to post anything because I just got so nervous, and I was really nervous about my husband's friends, like the guys that I'm friends with of his that would be like, my God, like your wife's like stomach is like, my big gross C-section belly was hanging out on Facebook. And I kind of gradually definitely did it and pick and chose like what I still post, like when it comes revealing things. But it truly, the people that wanted to be there to support you will support you. I don't know anyone that has defriended me. I'm sure there has been, but I don't really care because I don't realize they're gone. So it doesn't really matter. But the amount of people that you'll gain versus the couple you may lose is like way worth, and honestly, those people probably weren't your friends to begin with.
I know, that's what I keep telling myself.
Yeah. Honestly, too, once you said that, I realized that in the beginning, I was a little bit afraid of certain people seeing my stuff too. And I think for a while, I was like blocking like 5 people. Like I was like, oh, you're ever this, but the 5 people I'm nervous about. So there you go. So yeah, that's definitely, after you said that, I remember specifically thinking that, but then you get to the point where you're like, forget it, whatever, I'm proud of my journey sort of thing.
Yay. All right, well, I guess we should close because I want to get on Empowered Elite's team call, but thank you guys all so much for being here. Thank you so much, Kelly, for sharing. I'm sure I'm going to invite you back another time for some more of your wisdom. If you're not already following her, follow Kelly on Facebook. It's fun to watch. Just to give Laura Kent a shout out to Laura, been really authentic in her journey, and she's really sarcastic. And I told her I need to like learn from her because I'm actually really sarcastic in real life, and I can never portray it on Facebook. I'm super intense always in my posts, and I'm not. My sarcasm doesn't come out. So I have stuff. I mean, obviously I have a ton to learn, but Laura is another fun person to watch because she's funny and entertaining and
smart ass.
Yeah, smart ass.
Yeah. In a fun way, awesome way.
Yeah, it attracts people, so it's good. But, all right, you guys. Well, thank you so much for getting on. I really appreciate you taking the time, and hopefully we'll see you next week. Or see you now. Okay.
Bye, ladies.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.